Rosemary Jean Thompson, and welcome to this edition of UBC's Next Big Thing. My guest today is Dr. Jan Cioe, and he's Associate Professor and Head of the Psychology Department at UBC's Okanagan campus. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I invited you here today because I wanted to talk a little bit about an Interprofessional Clinic that you have put together here on campus and working with the nursing department and social work. Tell me a little bit about this clinic.
Right, it's been a long time in its development stage. It's actually approximately 2 years ago we started the process. Perfect timing, there was space available in the new building, the Arts and Science Complex, which had not been used for research purposes. And we needed a clinic in order to support the clinical psychology graduate program, but also the clinical social work master's program. And in addition, Carol Robinson in the nursing program wanted a facility that she could use for her work with respect to looking at essentially family support systems for children who are undergoing various kinds of chronic illnesses, sometimes diabetes, sometimes more problematical in the psychological sense. But it's a systems approach. So we needed a facility that was specially built. We were able to get, with the good graces of the administration, a fair amount of space to do that. So we have essentially two big pieces of the ground floor of Arts and Science. One is a large room which is used for group purposes, but also for families. The other rooms are also hooked up by essentially high tech. We've got cameras, 2 cameras in both rooms, in each of the rooms rather, so that we can get recordings of both the clients as well as the practitioners. So for the clinical psychology people, it's essentially going to be graduate students who are practicing the skill set necessary to be a clinician. So they need to have practice and they need to have feedback, and the video provides that. It's a system developed originally from sports where we could identify a characteristic, let's say what we're doing right now, good eye contact, right? And the therapist, the essentially professor, would be watching the client, identifying when it occurred and also when it didn't occur.
So this is feedback for the student so they can tell if they're doing the techniques the way that's going to make a difference. Right,
and it's far more efficient this way if you tag it, because now you jump from spot to spot to spot as opposed to sort of, you know, fast forward and say, oh, there's one, oh, there's another one, right? So this was a very, very important addition. The social work people are also using it for a variety of purposes, similar to us, in terms of giving their master students experience with clients. But also there's an option, which we're using right now, as a research context, where we can bring people in from the community who have psychological problems or issues relating to mental health, and we can provide them with assistance, but at the same time collect data, which can ultimately be used for a variety of research purposes.
So the clinic's been in place now for almost a year?
It was built. It took about a year before we were able to get resources to actually furnish it. We had, fortunately, an anonymous gift, which the university matched 1-to-1. So we had the money to buy basically the furniture. And this last year, the social work program has been running their clinical master's program, and so they actually have people in there right now. Psychology started its clinical program last fall, but we won't actually use the facility until the summer. So in our model, a full year's worth of training before we put them into the field and practice the skills.
We would love to see it in practice, and maybe we'll get an opportunity to have a tour and learn more about the facility and what it's doing to help our students succeed in their
You're more than welcome to come by at any time.
Thank you for being here. And that wraps it up for this edition of UBC's Next Big Thing. Until next time, I'm Rosemary Jean Thompson.